Good morning, sweetheart. I am at the CLC, so I'll be teaching a bunch of kids today, but I wanted to go ahead and read to you first before they all get here. So we are in Esther chapter 6, and we left off our story in the middle of a part. So I am going to go ahead and read chapter 6 for you, okay? Oh, don't you love my hair? It just does its own thing. Anyway, okay. So, Esther chapter 6. That night, the king had trouble sleeping, so he ordered an attendant to bring the book of history, the history of his reign, so it could be read to him, just like I'm reading to you. In those records, he discovered an account of how Mordecai had exposed the plot of Bigthana and Teresh, two of the eunuchs who guarded the door to the king's private quarters. Remember, they had plotted to assassinate King Xerxes. So this was back in the other chapter, and Mordecai told Esther, and Esther told the king, and then they found out that that plot was true, and they got rid of those guys. So, verse 3, the king asked, "What reward or recognition did we ever give Mordecai for this?" His attendants replied, "Nothing has been done for him." "Who is that in the outer court?" the king inquired. As it happened, Haman, had just arrived in the outer court of the palace to ask the king to impale Mordecai on the pole he had prepared. Remember? The 75-foot tall pole. Oh my goodness. So he went to the king to see if he could put Mordecai on that pole. So the attendants replied to the king, "Haman is out in the court. Bring him in," the king ordered. So Haman came in, and the king said, "What should I do to honor a man who really pleases me?" Haman thought to himself, "Who would the king wish to honor more than me?" So he replied, "If the king wishes to honor someone, he should bring out one of the king's own royal robes, as well as a horse that the king himself has ridden, one with a royal emblem on its head. Let the robes and the horse be handed over to one of the king's most noble officials, and let him see that the man whom the king wishes to honor is dressed in the king's robes and led through the city square on the king's horse. Have the officials shout as they go, 'This is what the king does for someone he wishes to honor. This is what the king does for someone he wishes to honor.'" You think this guy likes a little attention? Right? I know. "Excellent," the king said to Haman. Haman's like, "Oh yeah. Quick, take the robes and my horse and do just as you have said for Mordecai the Jew, who sits at the gate of the palace. Leave out nothing you have suggested." Can you imagine Haman's thoughts at that moment, where he's like, what on earth? So Haman took the robes and put them on Mordecai, placed him on the king's own horse, and led him through the city square, shouting, "This is what the king does for someone he wishes to honor. Afterward, Mordecai returned to the palace gate, but Haman hurried home, dejected and completely humiliated. When Haman told his wife Zeresh and all his friends what had happened, his wise advisors and his wife said, "Since Mordecai, this man who has humiliated you, is one of Jewish birth, you will never succeed in your plans against him. It will be fatal to continue opposing him." While they were still talking, the king's eunuchs arrived and quickly took Haman to the banquet that Esther had prepared. Sounds like it's not going so well at the moment. But we'll have to figure out what happens at the banquet tomorrow. So I love you, and I hope you have an amazing day. And just remember that God absolutely, absolutely adores you. You were chosen by Him. Talk to you later. Bye.